There's a lot of questions surrounding the Iran deal. We have not been given official access. We have not seen what the president has signed or if he's even signed it yet. But we're getting a lot of conjecture. We're getting a lot of rumors, and these rumors of conjecture can be used against you. But I am going to talk to you a little bit right now about why you should be worried about the deal, why you should ignore some of the noise, and why maybe you shouldn't be worried about the deal. And I would love to get your opinion down in the comments, what you think about what you've heard, because that's all you're hearing. And one of the things I'm hearing right now is from Axios. And according to Axios, and you can trust as much of them as you want, CIA Director John Ratcliffe has warned the president and senior officials that U.S. intelligence has uncovered significant doubt on Iran's willingness to accept the nuclear concessions, give up the uranium, quit enriching, stop spinning up, stop trying to get a nuclear weapon. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the Defense Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, they got it wrong here, reportedly shared those concerns, raising questions to Trump. So I'm glad that he's got good advisors that are casting some doubt. Now, do we know that Trump is going to be the final decision? Absolutely. But I think there's a lot of people that will use Axios as a source, even though they don't cite the actual source of where they're getting this information. And it's kind of just I told you so. So the other thing here, and I don't know how true this is, it says a copy of the U.S. Iran memorandum has been leaked. I'm not sure if this is fact or not, so we'll just run with what we have now. Iran and the U.S., together with their allies in the current war, declare upon the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, immediate permanent end to the war on all fronts. That's great. I'm liking this. Iran and the U.S. undertake to respect each other's sovereignty, territorial integrity. I'm okay with that. Iran and the U.S. undertake to negotiate a final agreement within a maximum period of 60 days. So this is an extension. This is an MOU, if this is right. Immediately upon the signing, the United States will lift the blockade, prevent any interference or obstruction against Iran. So we're going to move out of the way. We're going to trust but verify. The U.S. also understands to withdraw its forces from the surrounding areas within 30 days. We don't know exactly what that is. I don't believe we're going to pull forces out of Bahrain or Kuwait or Qatar. We're not doing that. That's off the table. Upon signing the memorandum, Iran will immediately take steps to ensure the government or the movement of merchant ships, the free flow with no tolls. The implementation mechanism of this plan as part of the agreement will be formulated within 60 days. The United States commits to ending on a schedule to be agreed upon part all types of sanctions. So we're going to lift sanctions if they comply with the International Atomic Energy Agency. Trust but verify. Iran reiterates they will never produce a nuclear weapon. It says Iran and the U.S. have agreed that the fate of enriched material and the fate of all other mutually agreed nuclear-related issues will be adequately addressed. The president says we're going to go get it. We're going to get the uranium. U.S. undertakes that immediately after the signing, it will start lifting the sanctions, giving them access to some of the money that has been frozen so they can rebuild their country. Trust but verify. There's no money coming from the United States going to them. And that's where one of the things a lot of people have tried to say that that's what was going to happen. I want you to hear what the president has to say here.
So the Atomic Energy just reported that it was one of the most devastating bombings that they've ever seen. The whole mountain collapsed on top of it. And frankly, to go get it, we're going to go get it. But to go get it is a big deal. Because they say only China and us have the equipment where you can even get. The whole mountain is collapsed on top. We have cameras on it. You could make the case why are you even bothering, because it's not really valuable. It's, it's probably $500,000 worth. It's not very valuable stuff. But I think psychologically we want to get it.
Psychologically, we want to get it. He says China and the United States are the only countries that have the sort of equipment to go and get it. This is from Operation Epic Fury, where they used the B-2s, the B-52s, I believe, and they destroyed the mountain. So we want to get it. I know there's a lot of people that want to see this stuff had because the president has posted this on Truth Social, and it's got a picture of President Barack Obama with pallets of cash, and it says, "Who is responsible for Iran's nuke program?" President of the United States posted this this morning. So getting the uranium could very well lead to a lot of problems for President Obama and maybe Hillary Clinton. And it says here, now that Trump inked the Iran deal, I believe we'll start to see more about this very soon with the Russia collusion, the Russia hoax. We've got more information here about various other outlets saying that they have the leaked document. I don't trust the leaked document theory until I see what the president does. And we all know what he's capable of. He signs it in the Oval Office or wherever he's at. He holds it up to the camera. So that's where I'm at with this. I believe the president. When he shows it, then I believe it. Until then, it's conjecture.
Obama took a shot and said, I don't think this deal is any better than the deal we had before. The JCPOA was dramatically different than what you were describing here tonight.
And I'd ask the president, the former president, I'd say, Obama, why in the world, if it's the same thing, why is it that the Gulf Arabs hated your deal and they love our deal? They are the ones who are in the region. They know what it means to enrich the worst terrorist regime in the world, and they also know what it means to turn over a new leaf and to go to a different future. So I think President...
That is exactly right. When all of the neighboring countries don't like the deal that Obama gave them, which was pallets of cash, I showed you, then that should tell you that wasn't a good deal for the neighboring countries. It gave Iran the capability, number one. Number two, the funding to spin up these nuclear missiles. And I believe one of the biggest things that the president has done with this campaign, whether you agree with it or not, he has shown that Iran has no allies. They are on their own. Their neighbors, Qatar, Iran, Iraq, Yemen, obviously Israel. They have been bombing their neighbors. So that's one of the things that I really believe that is different. That's hugely different right now. I want to show you something else here. Nick Sorter, President Trump is waiting to release the full text of the deal with Iran until after it's fully executed on Friday. Reason is simple, because warmongers will do everything in their power to sabotage it. You're seeing it everywhere. You are seeing it on all the platforms, all the social media podcast-a-stan people. They want to sabotage this whole deal. I'm going to show you here a clip of Megyn Kelly. And Megyn Kelly has flipped-flopped more time than Gandhi's shoes on this.
How about Hezbollah in Lebanon? Because, that's a proxy that they're funding.
Yep.
And that could easily queer this deal. It could queer this deal this week, people fear. Never mind on a go-forward basis, either side, Israel or Hezbollah.
Sure. Look, it's always delicate with these things. And, what we've seen with the ceasefire in Lebanon, and it's been clear, to be clear, a dirty ceasefire. There's been some shooting back and forth, but frankly, there's way less shooting now than there was 2 weeks ago. There's way less shooting 2 weeks ago than there was before. So with these things, as the President of the United States said a couple weeks ago, he said, sometimes a ceasefire just means they're shooting less.
Yeah.
And that's the...
I think he's got a point there. I think the President of the United States has a point. I think J.D. Vance is doing a good job of communicating that. These countries have been fighting for thousands of years. If you get them to just slow down a little bit, major accomplishment. Now, Megyn Kelly, I almost called her Candace Kelly because they're basically one and the same. It's weird to see her tone down some of her rhetoric after she was just making the podcast circuit. Sean Ryan, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, all of these people with all the hatred and vitriol. Now she's back to this. And you're going to see this with other people, the Bennies, you're going to see them with all of this. Now that the tides have turned, they're going to try to get back on the train, and it's up to you to get back to watching and believing this, but you saw how quickly they flipped.
Progress, and then you get to the next stage.
Is
I
it
feel
included?
good about
Is Lebanon included?
Lebanon's
Hezbollah?
It is a regional peace deal. It's going to include the Gulf. It's going to include Israel. It's going to include Lebanon. The idea is this is a true regional peace deal because,
How do we
again,
do
if
that
the
without
Iranians
Netanyahu?
comply,
Sorry, forgive me for interrupting.
no. The idea is that if the Iranians comply, then we are going to have a true transformative deal for the Middle East. And if not, they don't get any economic benefits. The United States, we got what we came to do, and we're done. And that's the basic approach.
We would not turn on the spigot if Hezbollah hit Israel over and over?
Well, what I would say is, like, if Iran is funding Hezbollah, we're not going to allow a bunch of unfrozen assets to freeze to the Iranians, right?
Hallelujah. That is good to hear. That is the Vice President of the United States saying if Iran continues to fund these terrorist proxies, we're not going to give them money. We're not going to allow that money to go back. We're not going to allow them to have access to their assets. It will be frozen. And I believe the way Iran has lost $500 million a day for the better part of 8 weeks, they're broke. The country is broke. And I believe the other thing that has happened, and you can agree with me down in the comments if you want, I would love to get your feedback, and I read all of them. We have enabled the Iranian people to experience just that much freedom. And when you get just a taste of it, you want more of it. That's the way it is here in the United States. Think about when we came to the United States, our ancestors, they came to the United States for religious freedom. They came here, wide open country. We started to get some freedoms. We were out of the way of the king, King George, I believe at the time. We got a little taste of freedom and we wanted more. And I think we've incited this freedom addiction in Iran. And I hope that those people continue to try to do that. Now, one of the things that happened immediately was Brent crude has dripped down below $80 a barrel. This is going back to close to the prices in January, just 5-6 months ago. So with that happening, we're getting a taste of cheaper fuel. You are at your dinner table, filling up your truck. Iran is getting a taste of freedom. This is a massive win. Do I trust Iran? Absolutely not. I want to verify before I trust. And even then, I'm hesitant. They are a snake, and the snake will bite you given the opportunity. The president has talked about the snake in multiple speeches, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. With that being said, leave your comment down below. Is this a good deal? I don't know, because we don't know. We don't know what's been signed or hasn't been signed yet. The news media, if you follow them, they're going to tell you one thing. They're never going to tell you anything to make you comfortable. They're going to tell you something to keep you watching, keep you on the edge of your seat, keep you scared, keep you worried. The midterm elections are coming up. The Democrat Party has done nothing to better themselves, to better their party policy. Nothing. They want this to fail. Democrat Party. The news media wants this to fail because I would say the Democrat Party and about 99% of the news media are one and the same. I'm not going to do that. I'm not falling for the trap, and I hope you don't either. Don't rush to judgment. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see a previous video about the double standards that we have here in America, go check out this video right here. This is Josh Hokett, a UFC fighter, and he kind of exposed a weak spot in the Democrat Party. You cannot make fun of, you cannot joke about Michelle Obama, because if you do, well, they have nothing to prove, or they refuse to prove it. But go check out that video. I hope you watch that. I'll see you in the next one, and you can see me over there.